Good afternoon, parents, friends, teachers, mentors, administrators, and of course, the NMMI graduating class of 2020. When I thought of sitting down to write the speech at the beginning of this semester, I would have imagined writing it in the privacy of my room on second stoop of golf troop, while my roommate is blasting British comedy shows and playing Minecraft. Never would I have imagined that I would get to do it in my childhood room, 7,000 miles away from my alma mater. Today, we are becoming NMMI graduates. Today, we should have been able to put on our gowns and walk the stage while our families are watching over us in the audience. Today, we should have been able to sing the Old Post together with one another for the last time. And yet, none of this could happen because of a deadly virus. But as the proud class of 2020, we refuse to let this keep us from cherishing the sweetest memories of our lives, which unfortunately had ended so prematurely that made NIMI truly special. I remember coming to NIMI as a sophomore. I was a scared little 15-year-old Vietnamese kid, and I was very insecure about myself, where I'm from, and especially my own name. When people ask me what my name is, I would always go by Michael or Mike instead of my real name, for fear that I would be judged because my name is not American enough or because of my Asian heritage. At NIMI, however, we must address each other by our last name, one for which I could not find an American alternative. So I had to start introducing myself with my real name. And I swear, if I get $1 for every time someone mispronounced my name, I would have already had enough money to earn a master's degree. But jokes aside, instead of the judgmental glares that I expected, I felt a warm hug by the amount of fellow cadets who went out their ways to learn how to pronounce my name correctly. When I came back to NIMI next summer for junior year, I was not able to hit my growth spurt during the summer and had to endure the literal pain in the neck by seeing friends who were previously the same height as me, now 3-4 inches taller than me. But despite not being able to hit the physical growth spurt, I was able to hit a mental growth spurt. I was no longer Michael or Mike Vong. I am now Nam Vong, a Vietnamese kid who is proud of who he is, proud of where he's from, and proud of his own last name. And I was able to do so because the people at NIMI opened their arms to me. I have always thought that being Asian would bar me from truly being a part of this American military school. However, in the diverse environment at NMMI, I learned that our differences in cultures, ethnicities, religions does not matter when we are being yelled at by the same mean command sergeant major, when we are all receiving the same terrible haircut from the barbershop, when we are all gagging because we just buried our face in the sand out on the obstacle course, and especially when we are all wearing the same pieces of uniform. Through common hardship, we were able to look beyond one another's skin color, economic background, and beliefs. When we look at one another, we only saw a family bounded by heart and soul. As NIMI cadets, nothing ever comes easy to us. We have to work hard from dawn to dusk. We have to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning, take 7 rigorous academic courses, take hard PT trainings in the afternoon, and then continue studying until night study hall ends at 10 p.m. And yet, you were able to lend me a little bit of your precious free time in learning how to pronounce my incredibly tongue-twisting name that is almost impossible for a non-Vietnamese to pronounce. You accepted me for who I am, and you showed me that you cared. With just a little effort and a little kindness, your actions has nearly changed my entire perception of who I am for the better. So, as I sat in front of my nostalgia-inducing bookshelf finalizing this address, I want to leave you guys with one last thought. Just as you guys have changed my entire worldview with a little act of kindness, you could have done the same thing for millions of others. With the same kind heart, just as you have changed my world perception, you can do the same for millions of others. So, what are you willing to spend your moral capital, your intellectual capacity, maybe your money, and definitely your sweat in pursuing that would make the world better outside of the barracks of New Mexico Military Institute? With just a little bit of kindness, the world is much more malleable than you think it is, and it is waiting for you to hammer it into shape. Before I conclude, I'm going to show my appreciation to the people whose immense influence over me had made me who I am today. Thank you, Mother and Father. Con cảm ơn mẹ Nhàn và ba Mẫn for providing me the opportunities, for believing in me, and for always supporting me in whatever endeavors. Thank you, Colonel Hitchcock, Colonel Surgett, Colonel Martinez, Dr. Yang, Major Norris, and every single of my teachers for being much more than mere educators for me. Without your guidance and support, especially Colonel Surgett's constantly reminding me to do the GU, and Colonel Hitchcock's morning talks and mind-bogglingly difficult exams, thanks to you that I am here today giving this farewell speech. I also want to give my special thanks to my roommate for 2 consecutive years, Riley Robertson, and his family. Miss Leslie, my American mama, Mr. Randy, Papa, Tony, Nana, and Lindsay for letting me into your house and taking care of me as if I myself am a Robertson. Thank you, Rodney, for introducing me to journalism. Getting my op-ed columns published on the NIMI dispatches was one of the most exciting feelings at my time at NIMI. And thank you to the Goss Rifle Drill team for enduring my temper, my constant harshness over you guys, and for being the best drill team that I have ever and will ever be a part of. And finally, I want to give a thank you and congratulations to the graduating class of 2020. Without you guys, my 3 years at NMI would not have nearly meant as much. And just as Kevin Durant, one of my favorite basketball players of all time, would say it, you're the real MVP.